third graders. I am so glad to see you. I've missed you now for so many weeks. I hope you're doing well at home and that you're safe. Um, your teacher was so nice to ask me to share a story with you, and I thought, now what story might I share? And then, of course, what came up was another one of Hercules' tasks. So, here we go with task number 7. Impossible task number 7. Hercules reported to the king. And yes, he was a king, but his memory wasn't always great. When he walked in and did a very big bow, the king said, "Oh yeah, what was it you did for your 6th impossible task? Oh, wasn't it that you brought me back wasn't a pig? It was bigger than that. Yeah, it was bigger than that. And it had those funny little horn type things, or, right around its big nose. Tusk, yeah, that's it. And what was it called? Not a big pig. Oh, it was called a boar, right? B-O-R-E. Hercules shook his head sadly and said, "Your Majesty, I think you are referring to a boar. Remember that? Boar, it was a big, huge boar, and it's running around in your field out there." Oh, yeah. And Hercules, could you tell me once again, how did you get rid of those Stymphalian flesh-eating birds? Well, I blew this whistle. You blew that whistle? That got rid of birds? Yeah, it makes a pretty horrible sound. Oh, it couldn't be that bad. Blow it for me. I command you, blow it for me. He said, well, okay, here it goes. The king put his hands over his ears and said, "Quick, be gone, Hercules, be gone. The chancellor down at the castle gate will give you your assignment." Well, Hercules stomped down the stairs and strode through the courtyard and came to the gate, and there was the chancellor, and he said, "Herc here." Chancellor said, "Herc," and he started looking at all of his papers. Herc, no, Herc, we have nothing for Herc, I'm sorry. Hercules lifted his big muscles and said, "Why didn't you look under Hercules?" And he said, "Okay, let's see. Yeah, no Hercules there, Hercules. Sorry, there's nothing. I have nothing for you." Hercules said, "Why don't you try looking under impossible task?" "Whoa, okay," said the chancellor. Picked up his clipboard and get an H. Oh, here it is, impossible task. Line of Nemean, yeah. 9-headed Hydra, yeah. Ooh, yeah, here's another one. "You were the guy that brought back the golden apples." Hercules said, "Yeah, that's me. But what am I supposed to do next?" The chancellor looked down again. He said, "Oh, go get the Cretan Bull." Hercules just nodded and left, and he prepared his sailors to sail to the island of Crete. Now, this bull was pretty special. You can imagine that. It was a white bull, which is unusual enough, but let you know how I got there. Crete is an island just off of Greece, and it was ruled by King Minos. King Minos was, he was always beset by his jealous brothers. They tried to kill him all so that they could become king. He got tired of it, and he went to his friend, the god of all the oceans. Do you know? I bet some of you have heard his name. Poseidon. So he went to the edge of the ocean, kicked off his sandals, and began to swim down to the palace of Poseidon. Poseidon was delighted to see him. Sit down, have some lunch with me. And they munched on, you guessed it, octopus. And King Minos said, I hear you have an amazing bull, a white bull. Yes, I do. That is quite an amazing bull. Said, I would like to take your white bull back to Crete. Oh, are you sure? It's very, very huge. And he said, yes, I would like to take it back to Crete, and then my brothers will stop trying to threaten to take over my island. Okay, but one day after you receive them, you must sacrifice this grand bull to me, King Poseidon, the ruler of all the oceans. Yes, 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 of course, King Minos. So he swam back up to shore, and sure enough, about a day later, here comes a huge ship, and off of it walks an amazing white bull. Now, the whiteness was amazing because it had never, ever had, no one had ever seen a white that white. It was as if you were looking at the sun through a little prickle, and all you could see was gleaming white. And its horns stretched 10 feet on either side of its head. And it was so large that it took 3 large slaves with their arms outstretched, fingertips barely touching, to reach around its chest. Oh, everyone marveled at that bull, and the king paraded it through the whole town and out into the countryside, and he got word from some of his spies that indeed the brothers had fled because they feared the white bull. Well, Minos knew he had to do what the king had ordered. So he thought, but I just can't sacrifice this white bull. Who's ever had that? What if my brothers come back and all those horns are magnificent and its whiteness? Oh, I just simply must keep it. And so he called his servants here and said, we're going to sacrifice a bull tomorrow morning. Go find the second best looking bull in all of the land. And they did. They came back and they had brought a magnificent bull. Oh no, it didn't look anything compared to the Cretan bull, but they thought they could trick Poseidon. They painted the bull white, and early the next morning, right before dawn, they took him up to the top of a hill, built a huge fire pit, and laid the bull down in sacrifice to Poseidon. Well, just a little tip for you. You don't try to fool a Greek god. Poseidon knew what he had done and he was angry, but he decided to pay back Minos in a special way. He made the white Cretan bull fall in love with King Minos' wife, and she fell in love with him. Now that's pretty weird, but from that love, they produced a half man and half bull child. Pretty weird, right? It was called a minotaur. And King Minos was so disgusted with what had happened that he had built on another island a huge labyrinth. Have you ever heard of a labyrinth? It's like a huge maze that you can't get out of. And he put the minotaur in that. But that's another story. Meanwhile, back at King Eurystheus' kingdom, Hercules set sail with his men. And when he landed, the king welcomed him, and they went and had grapes and Kool-Aid and all that sort of good stuff for a snack. And Poseidon says, I have been ordered by King Eurystheus to bring back the white Cretan bull. King Minos said, well, normally I wouldn't do this. I used to love that bull, but last week it tore up a whole village, killed everyone in it. People were not happy about that. And then it stomped all of my tomatoes in the royal garden, just flat. Then, here's the worst, it broke into my wine cellar and destroyed all of my wine. Yeah, you can have the white Cretan bull, but you have to catch him. Now, you remember that we've talked about that Hercules was not only strong, but he was strong in the head. He didn't jump into anything until he kind of knew what he was up against. And he indeed went and studied, just like he did with the Hydra, just like he did with the Nemean lion. He studied them from afar to figure out how could he accomplish the impossible task. So, he watched and watched and watched all one day, and he was awed by the size of that bull and the beauty of that bull and the whiteness of the bull. But it was fierce. He knew he didn't have much of a chance. Even Hercules did not have much of a chance against a bull like that. So he watched it, and one night while it was sleeping and snoring, have you ever heard a bull snore? It's pretty disgusting. He realized how deeply the bull slept and that it had a long, long tail. Hercules came up with a plan, and shortly before dawn that morning, it crept into the pasture where the bull was laying sleeping. It had stopped snoring, fortunately, and he reached down with his Herculean hands and grabbed the bull by the tail. Well, that bull came up, wow, with a hollow that brought down avalanches of stone in the faraway mountains, and it started running when it saw Hercules grabbing its tail. Well, he started chasing backwards, trying to chase his tail. Have you ever seen a dog do that? Well, this was a full, huge bull, chasing and chasing and chasing, and he could never get hold of Hercules holding onto his tail. So the bull started running. First, it ran through a forest, and it was knocking Hercules in the head with all of the timber that still Hercules held. Then it saw a mountain, and it ran up the mountain, and it bounced Hercules along all those boulders. It was pretty tough. Then it ran down toward a river, and it plunged into the river, dragging Hercules behind. But Hercules filled his lungs with breath, and he was able to be dragged underwater until finally the Cretan bull came out on the other side of the river. And on it ran all day. It never stopped to nibble grass. It tried to get it off in every way it could, slamming it against rock cliffs, running up to a cliff and throwing its body around, hoping that Hercules would lose its grip. Finally, night came on, and the bull collapsed in a meadow. When Hercules began to hear the bull snore, and remember how loudly it snores, he got hold of the tail, and he stood up and lifted the Cretan bull and began to sling it around his head like a lasso, and he threw it and threw it and threw it, and then pulled it down, and the bull landed on his shoulders. Quickly, Hercules ran toward his boat, jumped onto the boat with the bull on his shoulders, and laid it down on the deck, You've never seen a ship's crew move so fast because they did not want to be on that boat when that bull woke up. So they landed and they took the bull to King Eurystheus. And he jumped up and down and said, "Oh, it's so white, it's so big, it's wonderful, it's wonderful." And he enjoyed the Cretan bull for a long time until it began to plow up crops and destroy villages. And that's a whole different story. But thank you so much for listening to Task 8 of Hercules' Impossible Task. Look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.